Spooky season is nearly upon us, and I have already begun putting together my TBR list for the months of September and October. Let's talk about what I plan to read. First up on the list is Thrum, which is being billed as a horror, sci-fi, romantic novella. I have been seeing a ton of hype and excerpts on TikTok for this book, and I have to say, it has been really hard not to just pick it up and read it now that it's been released instead of waiting for September or October. But I do believe it'll be worth the wait. The atmosphere in this book is supposed to be kind of gothic, despite it taking place in space. And I think it even kind of opens with the main character waking up in her ship and discovering that her entire crew is dead. The whole premise is supposed to be that like an otherworldly being is reaching out to her and like, oh no, he's hot. So I don't really know outside of that what to expect, but I've heard that the ambiance is very good. A lot of the samples of writing that I've seen from the author look really good too. So this is probably at the top of my list. I think as soon as September 1st arrives, I will probably read this entire thing in a single day. So I'll let you know how it goes, but this one's supposed to be a really good one. The next one on my list is Slewfoot. So in Slewfoot, the premise of the book is that the main character lives in a puritanical colony and is suddenly widowed, which, you know, if we're thinking about Puritan times, there are obviously some serious implications for her freedom as a woman. She meets a newly woken yet powerful spirit named Slewfoot, and they're basically meddling in the dark arts. This very much seems like it's going to give us horror, witches, historical fiction. I am personally a sucker for anything that takes place in colonial New England because those stories always give me very traditional Halloween vibes. So this is another highly anticipated read. And I did actually get the physical book for this one, and there is gorgeous character art. So I do like to read digitally a lot, but if any others are considering getting this book, I do recommend getting the physical copy because the art is really, really cool. Next up on my list is Nocticadia. This one is supposed to be a dark academia romantasy sort of situation. From what I can gather, it sounds like the main character's mother dies of a mysterious illness and she attends a prestigious university intent on finding a cure. Enter in some element of like mystery between herself and this authoritative professor that specializes in pathology. It's definitely giving gothic, it's giving mystery, it's giving romance. I actually haven't read many dark academia books. It's a genre that I'm kind of, or I guess a subgenre that I'm trying to break into. So I'm hoping that this one treats me right. Speaking of this very same theme, another book that's on my list is Gothicana? Gothicana? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Tell me in the comments. I think it's Gothicana. But it's also on my list and it has a similar plot. It's also written about a woman that has lost her mother and is entering an ancient university that's filled with secrets and mysteries. This is also being billed as a dark romantic fantasy, and the love interest is also, you guessed it, a professor. This definitely sounds like it will be more of a paranormal mystery that the two main characters have to work through. And I've heard that this writer does a really good job of building atmosphere. And that's kind of what I look for, honestly, in any spooky book is just really good atmosphere, especially if it's gothic. So I think this will fit the bill and hopefully I will enjoy it. The last book that I have on my list for spooky season is Between Two Fires, which is a medieval horror fantasy written about a disgraced knight that stumbles upon an orphan of the Black Death plague. She convinces him to go on this journey against demons and the risen dead. It kind of has this sort of like holy war vibe, but I'm told that the book gives big Dark Souls and Elden Ring energy in terms of how some of the monsters and situations are depicted. And I don't know, but when I think of spooky, Dark Souls in particular definitely shoots to the top of my mind. So when I heard that this book was kind of reminiscent of some of those themes and some of that imagery, I got super excited about it. And I love a good journey. So we'll see how this one goes. Definitely one that I'm really pumped about. So that concludes the list that I have so far for the months of September and October. If you have any books that you think fit the bill in terms of being horror or even horror fantasy, even horror romance, I'm open to all of it as long as it's creepy at a minimum. Definitely let me know in the comments because I am certainly looking for a few more spots to fill since I think I will make my way through these books quickly. Hopefully there were some recommendations on the list that you found intriguing. If you've read any of these, also let me know your thoughts. Bye!